Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the NXT Takeover 36 preview show. Predict the outcome. As always, we have the matches as a bitter personal rivalry between Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross takes ahead, but Samoa Joe making his long-awaited return after being choked out by Karrion Kross. You see right here, as Samoa Joe was trying to do special refereeing in the match between him and between Karrion Kross and Johnny Gargano in a championship match. And Samoa Joe got paid for his trouble by choking him out. Samoa Joe makes his long-awaited return as Samoa Joe fight Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. What a match that's going to be coming up next. Also, too, another long-awaited match that many people talking about was the best match. Walter defends the United Kingdom Championship against Aaron Dragunov. Yes, the long-awaited match that made headlines during one episode of NXT UK, and they're going to bring it to the States. So we're going to hear from that. Also, too, former best friends now turned bitter enemies. Dakota Kai turned her back on her best friend, Raquel Gonzalez. She was over jealous that Raquel Gonzalez is now the NXT Women's Champion, and Dakota Kai wants her shot at the NXT Women's Championship. Will Dakota Kai get a shot? We'll just wait and see and find out on the rest. And a bunch of more takeover stuff, matches and personal grudges, including Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. All this and more coming up as the Pro Wrestling Show starts right after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the predicted outcome for NXT TakeOver 36. Yeah. But first things first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And do not forget to subscribe. Subscribing is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show as we proudly present the NXT TakeOver 36. What a card we have. 6 phenomenal matches, 3 title matches. What a match is going to be. Let's kick things off with the first match. Well, I believe the first match is going to be Cameron Grimes goes one-on-one against his servant, his boss, LA Knight. Now, you recall Cameron Grimes had a match against LA Knight, and the winner had to be the servant of it. Cameron Grimes came off a little bit short than expected by LA Knight defeating him. LA Knight, now the $1 million champion. It was all for the States. Instead, DiBiase put the $1 million title up for grabs, and LA Knight won the $1 million title, and now LA Knight is the new $1 million champion. And then it was another match that LA Knight beat Cameron Grimes on the episode of NXT and got him a new butler. When they did a lot of fun vignettes, Cameron Grimes and LA Knight, the misadventures of them going to the golf course, going to treat LA Knight when he needed to be, pampered and stuff. So it came to a head after Ted DiBiase, the $1 million man himself, the $1 million man told him, like, hey, you're better than this. You know you can beat him. Why waste your time, waste your energy, waste your moment? And Cameron Grimes had to look at himself and think about it and said, you know what, Ted, you have to be right. Ted DiBiase coming to the aid of Cameron Grimes and telling Cameron Grimes, make him realize, hey, you have unlimited potential. At first, when I looked at Cameron Grimes, I was thinking like, oh, he's just playing North Carolina wrestling. But with WWE, it helped build him a new charisma, and open your eyes a little bit. And Ted DiBiase is trying to help Cameron Grimes realize his potential, and Cameron Grimes has the potential. He just sees it now. So now things are boiling ahead after LA Knight saying that Ted DiBiase is sticking in his business. So LA Knight said to DiBiase, like, hey, if Cameron Grimes can't beat me, then you're going to be my new butler as well. So I'm going to be having LA Knight's going to have 2 new butlers as it pertains to that. But Cameron Grimes has to get the job done. So he has this once in a lifetime match. And can Cameron Grimes defeat LA Knight and win the $1 Million Championship under the advisement of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, who's been in his corner as late? So I look for Cameron Grimes to pick up the win over, I'm about to say Eli Drake, but over LA Knight in this match. So look for this to be a hard-hitting bell-to-bell match. But at the end, LA Knight will succumb to Cameron Grimes. Speaking of another match that's going to be succumbing to is another grudge match. Kyle O'Reilly goes one-on-one against his former best friend, former teammate, Adam Cole. There's been a lot rumors going along about Adam Cole. Is he done with WWE, or does he want to stick around, or what? But we don't know. These two have been the former stablemates of each other in the Undisputed Era, and now they've been turning it this whole past year into a tense rivalry after Cole had turned on the Undisputed Era and wanted to go solo. And now Kyle O'Reilly has forced him to become a great wrestler himself. If I recall, I remember way back when, like at least 10 years ago, when they was in Ring of Honor. Now, Adam Cole was Roderick Strong. Adam Cole was David. No, he was Eddie Edwards' protege, and Kyle O'Reilly was David Richards' protege, and they still wrestling to this day. I don't get why the Wolves are not in wrestling, but it is. But they both in wrestling, but they're both in different promotions. Richards in MLW and Edwards in Impact. I don't get why they didn't. It is what it is. But this match right here is personal, total disdain, and hatred for one another, and it's going to be that way between one of these. This match has to end. You can tell it's going to end in a 2 out of 3 falls match. So I guess the first fall will be a straight up wrestling match, and the second fall will be a street fight. And if necessary is a third fall, it will be inside of a 15-foot solid steel cage. So look for this match to come to an end. A lot of rumors are going on about Adam Cole's contract status. And I really don't know what his contract status could be. He has a month left in his contract. He's been extending it. And they saying he had a long conversation with Mr. McMahon. Mr. McMahon gave him like, hey, I'll keep you. If you stay, you'll get $1 million and you'll come up to the main roster and we'll push you all the way to the moon. But a lot of people saying he needs to reconsider that, because when they got you locked, they're gonna do what they want to do and be done with it. Got the money, but is it worth the career? So that's what it kind of boils down to. But I see. I don't know. It's kind of a toss up. I want to say Kyle O'Reilly gonna win this one, but then you got the root for Adam Cole, so I'm gonna go with Adam Cole. Adam Cole's gonna win this one and put it in the books and move on to the next feud. He had a feud going on with I forgot his name, but he is be there and be there. There you go. So look for that coming forward. Also, too, is another match that a lot of people are talking about, raving about, is Dakota Kai challenging her former best friend Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship. These two women were the best of friends. They stick together, and they stick together like two peas in a pie. When I guess but Raquel kind of knew it was coming. She was gonna get backstabbed, but she didn't see it coming, and it came out of nowhere. And now Dakota Kai finally gets a shot at the women's championship. Would this be the turn of the century or the turn of many people didn't see coming? We just have to wait and see on that one and be able to put it. But I see not Dakota Kai, but Raquel Gonzalez winning the match over Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai gonna put up a fight, but it still ain't gonna be hard enough. And I think Dakota Kai has to watch her back sometimes. It's like when you turn on somebody and somebody's been trying to be good to you, it's best to keep that relationship good. It's I've been there before. People you try to help and then they try to stab you in the back, and it's like, well, I mean, how deeper do you want to go? Because nobody can gonna trust you no more, and it kind of leaves bad wounds, and it's kind of like you want to make men good fences because you never know who you might need, and people who stab you in the back, they gonna need you for something, and then you kind of can be petty and shady or whatever you want to call it, and cruel and all that, and say, "Nah, I ain't gonna help you." I think Dakota Kai, all she could have just said, she won a championship match, to butt out, but she had to make it worse and difficult for herself. So it's gonna be that way at Takeover. It's gonna be a difficult match for her, and I just hope that she knows what she's getting herself into. When Raquel Gonzalez unleashes her her female power, her female powerhouse on her. I just pray to God that Dakota Kai knows what she's doing. It's gonna be a match that many people gonna be saying she should not even ask for. Oh man. Also too, the match that everyone's been talking about, the longer rated return of Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe returns back to the ring to challenge Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. These two men at the last week, you see right here, were getting pulled apart by security. So even security couldn't pull them apart. These two men wanted to go at each other and try to beat each other's brains out. This all started when Joe was released by WWE, and WWE brought Joe back in heights of trying to. We thought Joe was going to be the new general manager of NXT, but that wasn't the case. He was just the enforcer for Mr. Regal to keep law and order in NXT. And lo and behold, Karrion Kross, the NXT champion, wanted to call Joe out, wanted to say all the mean things about Joe. Joe didn't take lightly. Joe had to keep him to himself and try to be professional. Samoa Joe really didn't want to be professional at the time, but he had to bite his tongue and had to be provoked. Well, all that came in the head when Samoa Joe was the special enforcer. That means Samoa Joe was doing his job, and lo and behold, Samoa Joe was trying to keep the match in order between Karrion Kross, who had championship defense, against Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano did try to put up a fight, but at the end, he got held to Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross won the match. But Karrion Kross did some more devastating, despicable act after he won the match. He wanted Joe to raise his hand, but he attacked Samoa Joe, choking Samoa Joe out with the Kakita clutch, leaving Samoa Joe laying. The next thing you know, Samoa Joe's laying out in the middle of the ring. But Karrion Kross continued to try to taunt Samoa Joe with insults. But at the end, Samoa Joe came back and wanted a fight against Karrion Kross. And now he's going to get that fight one-on-one at NXT TakeOver 36. The championship is on the line. These two men are going to battle it out. And what the match is going to be, Samoa Joe, Karrion Kross for the NXT title. I mean, Karrion Kross also has been a fixture on Monday Night Raw over the past month and late. So I guess Samoa Joe could be the next NXT champion. He's going to be the next NXT champion. He's going to be that transitional champion. We don't know who's going to be next in line to challenge Samoa Joe. But Karrion Kross loses the match. He's going to stay. He's going to move on to the Raw brand like he's been doing. He's been on the Raw brand. So I look for Karrion Kross to lose and move on to Raw. Samoa Joe will end this final nail in the coffin and get the 1, 2, 3 over Karrion Kross. Like I said, NXT TakeOver comes your way live tonight on Peacock. The Peacock Network, streaming on all other WWE platforms international, but it's gonna be on Peacock on the US. These phenomenal matches as you see right here, this phenomenal card, Samoa Joe carrying across NXT title on the line. Well, you know, what's been the mishaps, what has Scarlett been lately? Also, too, LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes. If Knight wins, Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, has to be the butler as well as Cameron Grimes as well. If Cameron Grimes loses, but the $1 Million title is on the line, and can Cameron Grimes listen to the advice of the $1 Million Man to win the $1 Million title? Also, too, the women's championship is on the line as former best friends turn enemies. Dakota Kai challenges Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship. That's going to be a match of itself. Who's going to win between these two women who destined to be greatness? Also, too, Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. These are, like I said, former friends turned bitter enemies. They had total disdain and hatred for each other. And now they're having a 2 out of 3 falls match. The first fall will be a singles transitional match. The second fall will be a street fight. And third fall, if necessary, will be a steel cage match between these two bitter rivals. And finally, the match that everyone's been talking about, including in NXT and NXT UK, Walter defends the NXT UK Championship against Ilya Dragunov. That match is going to be sensational. So, like I said, it's going to be one of the 2 packs we talk about here on the Pro Wrestling Show. The NXT 36 Predict the Outcome. And also, Will, if you missed the SummerSlam Predict the Outcome for SummerSlam, where I talked about what's going to happen in that match, previews and spoil and predictions of John Cena and Roman Reigns. Look back on the archives to see right here. Also, too, if there is honorable mentions goes on, we know that Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell are engaged. We don't know how far they're gonna go with the wedding, but you have to see from that and see how all that comes around with their institution of marriage. And then we know that the Gangaros does not like that one bit. That Dexter Lumis is part gonna be in the family in a way. I haven't seen Austin Theory as well, but you see John Garro and Candice in happy good times, but now I heard that they're expecting a child. So congratulations, Zora, to that. Also, too, we haven't with Hit Row and El Fatal, that should have been a match, but don't know when they're gonna bring that out. You never know. Will they have a preview show match? We'll never know. Hey, here's what it is. All right. It's been great seeing all these matches going on in NXT. We get you set, get you ready for the NXT show. So for me being Kendra Dix saying so long, we'll see you at NXT Takeover 36. See you.